Okay, today's project is going to be a little coin purse. If you use a 4x4 hoop, it will be small. If you use a 5x7 hoop, it will be a little less than 5x7. The instructions will give you the exact dimensions for the fabric to cut. You start by hooping just stabilizer, and in this case you want to use a tearaway stabilizer so that you can get it out of the inner pieces after it's all finished and ready to turn. We're going to use one color of thread all the way through. That's for sewing it together, doing the text, doing the trim on the front. You can alternate colors if you like. The first color is going to be just the outer edge. It's going to show you an outline of where all the little pieces are going to go. The next step is to put the zipper down on top. The lines that have sewn out have got an outer line and then an inside line. You want to just line the zipper up so that the center line goes right down the center of the zipper. Couple of things to note. You want to make sure that the end metal part is about a ½ inch outside of the sewing line so that your needle doesn't hit it. And if your zipper pull is down, push it up too. I prefer to put a piece of Scotch tape to hold this in place. I don't want my fingers anywhere near where the needle's going to be. And if you want to be really sure, you can just lower the needle. That's exactly where it should be. So I'm going to let it sew. There we go. Now, if you happen to know that this isn't completely straight, don't worry. The way we sew the rest of this together is going to cover up any little parts that aren't completely straight. Any place that you've put some Scotch tape, go ahead and pull that off as you're done so that that doesn't get in your way later on. When you cut out your fabrics, you've cut 3 pieces, a small, medium, and large. We're going to start with the medium piece, lay it right on top, and put the folded edge right along the middle of the zipper. Now you can put a couple pieces of tape to hold this in place if you want to. You don't really have to. It's up to you. The next color is going to tack this down for us. Then you're going to take the smaller piece that you've got left and you're going to lay it on top. The 2 things you're checking is that the 2 folds match up real nice and close. The top part has been cut so it's going to cover the sewing line. And you can use tape here if you want to, but you don't need to. You might be wondering why we're using an odd color. We're using pink thread. All of this is going to be inside. You won't see it when we're done. So you can use any color thread here you want. The next color that's going to sew is going to put a trim along the bottom and the top here, and the trim is also going to anchor the zipper down completely. One place that your presser foot is going to cross over is down here at the bottom of the zipper, and to make absolutely sure that it doesn't get caught up under here, I put a piece of tape, which we'll tear off when we're done. You can use variegated thread in this particular part. It looks really nice. I'm going to go with the plain pink we've been using here. This is where the Scotch tape has kept the fabric down so the presser foot doesn't get stuck underneath of it. And now it will sew up the other side. The next step in the design will be the text message that's on the front. You can use one letter, use a different color here if you'd like, and if there are two lines of text, you can use the same color for both lines or different colors, whatever you prefer. Okay, once the text is all sewn out, you need to do a couple of little tricks that will make sewing the purse together a breeze. If you've got any Scotch tape still there where I had it at the end, be sure to peel that off. You can get most of it off real easy. There we go. Those are gone. The first thing you need to do is go up and take the zipper pull and unzip your zipper to almost to the end, about 1 inch from inside. Make sure the zipper pull is pushing up out of the way so that your presser foot has room to move around here. The second thing we're going to do is we're going to take some rat tail or satin cord, whatever you like to call it, and I've cut about a 10-inch piece. I put a little piece of Scotch tape on it, and I tape the ends so that they are outside of the sewing line. Make sure that this is inside in the middle here. If it's getting in your way or popping over to the side, you can put a little piece of tape to hold it down. Mine's being pretty good here, so I don't really need the tape. You take your last piece of fabric, the fold, it doesn't matter whether that goes up at the top or down at the bottom. You're just going to lay it on top. Now, because you have things in the middle, it's not completely flat, so if you wanted to, you could put a couple of pieces of tape just to hold things in place. Remember, you don't want your fingers anywhere near the needle going around. So I like to put a couple little pieces of tape. They come off so easily. I'm using Scotch tape, but you could use painter's tape, whatever you like, and you just sew out the last stitch. This is going to sew around the outside about 3 times to give you a nice secure seam. Okay, that's it for the sewing. And the purse itself is completely finished. All you need to do is a little bit of trimming. If you've used a tearaway stabilizer, you can just tear all of this off of the back. You can tear away the parts inside. You can tear as much or as little of this around the lettering as you like. It's up to you. Where you have the zipper, remember that there was a thread sewn down the middle, so you may want to snip that so that this tears off you can just give it a yank and it will tear off too. Now, the next thing you're going to do is take your scissors. I use my Kai scissors. They're the greatest scissors in the world. I trim close to the edge without going through any of the stitching. When you get to the zipper, just keep on going and snip right across that. You've got seam here, so your zipper's not going to come out. Go around the edges. And the same thing up here, just clip off the zipper pieces. And this is it. All you need to do now is turn your purse right side out. You can use a tool if you like. I like to use a chopstick to make my corners come out. The corners are sort of rounded, so you don't have to worry about having sharp points there. And when you zip it up, you have almost a perfectly invisible zipper and a little bag. A little pressing would make this lay perfectly flat, but your purse is completely finished.